Ground fog, what's happening, man? Can you hear? Do I have audio? Is there sound? We don't know anymore. We got video, I think. Video, yeah. But waiting on the audio. How's it sounding, guys? Decided to do a last minute, not an Insomniac social. Figured we'd switch it up a little bit. More, I figured I'd do a little trolling for some trolls, you know? Yeah, they've been dropping the comments. I figured I'd have a little Q&A if the man shows up or not. Highly unlikely, you know. But anyhow, good to see you, Ground Fog. I'm sure there'll be a couple other people to roll in here. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, last minute thing. I think I thought about it a little while ago, and then I finally said, "Hey, why not? Not going to bed. Nothing else happening. Didn't see too much going on the live circuit going on this evening, so I figured I'd give it a go. Jump on here. I didn't have anything out quite yet because I invited somebody special here. And if they show up, we're going to do a quick rundown on a couple of things. It's amazing how smart some of these people are nowadays, and how people can figure out your entire life based off 35 seconds short or whatever it is. It's pretty short. But yeah, they've got your entire life figured out based on a 40 second short. So I invited the guy. Hey man, I'm more than open to talk about it, but coming in there being rude, making accusations and stuff. Kind of not the right way to go about it. So we'll see what happens. I don't even know if this is working. There's 0 views, 0 concurrent viewers. There's nothing happening here. So we'll see how it goes. Still rocking for well over a year now. What we're going on? We're well into 13 months, going on 14 for the Spyderco Sage 5 CF, the carbon fiber scales, custom blackened pocket clip. And I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a shout out for this. I've been carrying the one single folder now, just one, not one in each pocket, not one for today, one for tomorrow, 300 for the year, just one folder for over a year now. So I guess this is what a folder looks like after you've been carrying it for a year. I'm sure there's going to be some patina expert coming in here. We actually, you got to turn all the lights on for there to be light, my man. Yeah, fix that lighting issue. But yeah, still rocking this now. Carry it every day in the left front pocket there. Relatively new edition, little over a month or so. I forget, yeah, maybe a little over a month. I used to carry the Leatherman Surge all the time as an EDC, but yeah, scaled it down to the Leatherman Wave Plus. Been carrying this now for I don't know, like whenever Mrs. B got that deal at Bass Pro Shops. Yeah, we actually scored this one. Instead of getting it for the full MSRP of 120, she got it for like $88. Don't ask me how she does this stuff, guys. She gets the coupon, the filler, the super deal. I'm not 110% sure how she does it, but she does. And then the often one of the most underrated EDC things. Well, it's gotten more popular now since YouTube and everything. But a solid pocket EDC flashlight. I prefer one that's a single AAA, so I've been carrying the Streamlight Pro Tac, whatever the hibbity dibbity thing it is. Yeah, the one AAA Pro Tac Tech Streamlight thingamabob. Yeah, we got one of those. Also, yeah, carry a lighter. Hey, it's a thing, you always melt in the end of cordage and stuff like that, especially as a parachute rigger. But yeah, great piece of survival tool. We're using the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. So yeah, this is the one I need to change. We got an empty lighter. Way to go, Mr. Bushcraft YouTube guy. Yeah, man, hey, these things happen, right? That's why 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So you got in the second one, right? And of course this one's gonna work. Yeah, there we go. There we have it. Yeah, 2 is 1, 1 is none, and that's precisely why. So yeah, that's what we're carrying for the EDC. And yeah, so how's everybody doing tonight? YouTube is Crispy Critter, what's happening, my man? Welcome to the chat. How goes it with you? Hopefully life is treating you well. You're staying healthy. We're or just, yeah, random live, decided to jump on there, had some comments in the comment section there. So I said, hey man, I'll just start a live for you if you really want to talk about it. I doubt he'll show up. But yeah, yeah, how somebody can figure out somebody's entire life based off a 40-second short is beyond my comprehension, but apparently it's a thing to do nowadays. Um, yeah, another thing, hey, how many people carry a little tape measure with them? I typically throw it in the backpack, a few feet, something like that. Never know if you're going to have to measure something up. That's more of a backpack, a day pack type thing for me than a pocket carry. But yeah, Crispy, what are you carrying these days? Did you switch it up at all, or yeah, I'd imagine you're probably still carrying that shaman, man. That's a sweet shaman there. Um, Definitely a nice knife. But yeah, that's kind of. I was really hoping that guy would show up, but I should know better, right? Yeah, because heaven forbid you defend yourself with logic and rational thinking and a reasonable explanation. But yeah, I figured I'd go through it nonetheless. So yeah, um, usually my shaman, but also my Harsey 4 inch. Yeah, the Harsey knives are sweet, man. I used to have the Spartan Blades Palace, and Spartan Blades make a great knife. And them teaming up with Harsey, yeah, those are. Oh, some of those are just. I wouldn't carry them, man. I would own a couple of them. They're like the highly decorated ones. Man, it's kind of like, oh, it's a show piece. I'd put it in my pocket for a wedding or something. I'd like to get a blackout version of the Harsey. Yeah, blackout with all DLC. That would be a sweet folder. Um, yeah, yeah, they got a pair too. They got, isn't there like there's like a 3.5 inch and like a four inch or something, or like 3 1/4 and 4 inch. I can't remember what they are, but there's kind of like yeah, there's the Harsey folder and then the Harsey little brother folder too, the big folder. I don't know. I've just always been a fan of that, applying the two is one is none concept. And of course, the plow truck guy is going by. That's anybody that grows up where it snows. That's got to be the ultimate like arch enemy. Yeah, there he goes. He's gonna, plow in the end of the driveway. I just finished shoveling a little while ago, so I'll be back out there again to clear out the end of the driveway. Thank you, Mr. Plowman. Oh, your Harsey is all DLC. Those are sweet, man. The DLC coating and DLC and PVD isn't that much of a difference. It's one of those, a 0.5% here and 1/4% there. I guess it's enough to make it different. In fact, I even learned that not all DLCs and not all PVDs are the same. They can kind of customize it up and still call it the same thing. Um, but yeah, like this is a great Spartan blade. The Enyo, I don't know if anybody's. I'm sure you guys have seen it. But great little knife if you wanted to use it as a necker knife or just a pocket fixie. I've carried it just with the sheath, throw it in the pocket. I would like to make another sheath for it. I've been looking more and more into that, into making custom kydex. And hey, man, hopefully, maybe Uncle Sam will be nice to us this year with the IRS, and I'll be able to pull off, start at least start doing some prototypes and stuff, get the tools together, and start making some kydex. But yeah, the this was yeah, Spartan Blades was the first time I ever owned anything that had like a high end coating like DLC or anything like that. And these got a few solid years, maybe about 5 solid years of use while I was bike touring the Eastern Seaboard and stuff. And yeah, it's even got a few skydives, man. I know I left it in my cargo pocket more than a few times. So yeah, hey, it's an airborne Spartan Blades Enyo. But yeah, great all around knife. And like I said, this was the introduction. Not this exact knife. The first knife I got was the Horkos of theirs. But yeah, it is a awesome knife setup. Yeah, here's the Horkos. Usually I have this piggybacked on here, but I kind of had these knives for sale, So somebody was talking about they wanted individual pieces, so I ended up taking them apart. But I did have this laced up with some paracord and then a couple of bicycle tube rubber bands. I don't know when they started calling them Ranger bands, but I know I've been cutting rubber bands out of these things since like the late '80s, early '90s. I think they were doing it back then as well. Being a cyclist and all, I've always had a surplus of but like pop bicycle tubes. So excuse me. Yeah, so the Horkos is another great knife. It's got some wear on it. It's not totally thrashed. I have stropped it though, almost to like there's a bit of a mirror polish on the edge there. Definitely still sharp. It'll shave for sure. Yeah, there we go. But great all around knife. Yeah, so this was two out of the three pieces I was running. I like the Horkos. It's a great knife. Awesome field utility knife. I've never done any of the crazy YouTube stuff. I don't cut frying pans in half. I don't cut cinder blocks in half. I don't use it as a car can opener to pry open the roof of a car or something. I've just never had to do those things, so it's not thoroughly beat. I think that's something that's one of the bad things that's coming out of YouTube is everybody thinks you go out for the weekend and use your knife like Joe X. Yeah, not the case. The right tool for the right job. I use a knife for anything slicing or cutting or and any of that stuff. Any heavy chopping, I use a hatchet. I've always carried a saw. But yeah, that's that knife there. But yeah, I just wanted to bust these out a little bit of progression stuff. Yeah, my shaman will dissect. Yeah, yeah, that's what I say a lot of times, crispy critter. Like the 5 years that I carried this knife, right? The number one thing I swear, and I'm being totally honest, no BS in here at all. The number one thing that this thing caught was the Hillshire Farm summer sausage. Man, you're out camping, it's a delicious snack. You can almost like throw some crackers in. It's a meal. But yeah, this thing probably cut more summer sausage than any other knife in existence. Yeah, might have cut a couple apples, some oranges, yeah, things like that. I just, like I said, I get a lot of these comments like, "Oh, that's you got some brand new gear. It's never been used. You don't know what you're talking about." It's like, no, man, I'm just kind of rebuilding a kit and just kind of getting restarted in life. Um, yeah, real talk. Yeah. So yeah, I've literally like when it came to replacing these, yeah, like Spartan blades are great knives. Like I said, awesome field utility. The one thing they're lacking in, and they're not really, it's like this is specifically designed. I've talked to Curtis about it. It's a field utility knife. It does all the stuff that military guys need it to do. I decided to use it for civilian use. I like the nice slim profile. It packs away real nice. But when you start getting into a lot of usage, it does get some hot spots. There's not a lot of ergos in the scales and stuff. You can see how flat the scales are. In fact, typically I would wear gloves if I were doing any kind of something like, making feather sticks or, some extreme bushcraft stuff like that. Um, Cannon, what's happening, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. Um, yeah, yeah, Semper Fi from an army guy always, man. Love it when Cannon's up in here. And he knows every time when he behaves himself, Miss B will bring in some crayons for him. And not that generic crap either. With nothing but the best Crayola for America's finest. Baylor Bear, nice knife. Who's the manufacturer? Yes, Spartan Blades. They're out of North Carolina. In fact, they're like 16 or 17 miles from Paraclete Skydiving Center. Not too far from Fort Bragg. That's where they have their showroom and everything is right down there. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Scooby Snacks. And everybody's down for some Scooby snacks. So that was the one thing that I wasn't like. I'm a huge fan of Spartan Blades. I would definitely buy another. Obviously, I would buy a couple of Hershey's, and they've got a few other things I'd be interested in trying out. But I was kind of like shifting the angle. I was looking to use knives a little bit more than what I was, so I wanted something a little more ergo friendly, a little bit more comfortable for long term use and stuff. That's when I got into Phobos knives. It was around 2019. But I've got a few of these in the last year, a little over a year ago or so. But you can see the difference in the scales and the ergos. It definitely it melts into the hand a lot better, a lot more contouring, and using it so far, just slicing and dicing stuff, not chopping cinder blocks and stuff in half or any of that goofy stuff. It's a great knife. Like I noticed. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the ergos of a knife is going to change the way it's going to change how comfortable it is, how often you use it, whether or not you even want to use it. I had a couple of clunkers back in the day where I had no interest in using them. But yeah, so that was why I transitioned over to Phobos knives. Back to kind of here, we'll clear this out a little bit. So yeah, so that's the Spartan Blades Horkos and the Enyo. And the thing is, I had started with the Horkos. It's kind of a big knife. It freaks out some of the everyday hikers. Um, I got a Camellia's comb and it's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Um, so yeah, so it was. I actually carried three fixed blades. The Horkos, and like I said, I had the Enyo piggybacked onto the Horkos. But the Horkos, when you bust it out on the AT or something, some of them are like, that's a bit too much of a knife. And as much as I like the Enyo, it's just too small of a knife sometimes. So I was looking for something in the middle that was still compact and easy to carry and all that good stuff. And that's when I went with the Frike. So this was the third Spartan blade that I bought. So it's like a year younger than the other ones. I ran just those two for like a year, and then I ran this one, which is Spartan Blades designed it. It's a self defense fighting knife, whatever. Great knife, really slim profile. So if you IWB, it completely disappears. If you throw it in the Kydex instead of the nylon, it's a great pocket fixie as well. I use this one quite a bit in the rigging loft. Yeah, once again, not beating up the knives a lot. A lot of press cuts with this, cutting different parachute cords and stuff. And I've cut everything. I've cut Spectra, Dynama, of course, nylon, different types of parachute lines with this. So, and I was also impressed. This was my first time with a quote unquote super steel. These are the CPM S35 VN versions. I know they're up to like S45 or something, and maybe beyond that now. But yeah, this is what I was running, is kind of like more like an EDC fixie, lightweight hiking knife, all that stuff. But once again, you've got the extreme low profile, which makes it really comfortable, like I said, for IWC, pocket carry, whatever you want to do. But if you're kind of working it for a while, especially without gloves, you'll get some hot spots. You'll get uncomfortable. Throw some gloves on, and you'll get a lot more use out of it. But those are the three fixed blades that I used to carry. The folding knife I was carrying for a while, I don't have. I gave it to my daughter. It was a ZT-0200. I had carried that one for quite a few years, and then I gave it to my daughter. After that is when I got the Spartan Blades Palas, the button lock. Love that knife. Of course, it's discontinued. I've looked into it recently. But I used that for quite a while. And then I just went quite a while without a folding knife and just had fixed blades. But yeah, so back to the progression. Like I said, I switched over to Phobos because of the more comfortable ergo scales and things like that. And I kind of rebuilt my set. All in the same thing. So yeah, so that replaced the Horkos. The Frike ended up getting replaced by the Calcula, which is just it's a bit more knife, not too much more, but it's just I love it. Instead of having flat scales and everything, once again back to the Phobos signature ergos on here, which just makes it insanely comfortable in any position. So yeah, the Calcula replaced my Frike, and then to replace the Enyo, because yeah, no scales, kind of compact. Even I've got small hands, and it's kind of you end up grabbing onto the lanyard bead, which is actually why they put it on this knife. Was to kind of like extend your grip a little bit. But yeah, once again, highly concealable neck knife in the pocket, whatever you want to do with it. Piggyback it to a larger fixed blade. Great all around knife, but same thing, just no scales whatsoever. You're just kind of dealing with metal. So I ended up replacing this one with the Tier 1 Mini by Phobos. Not too much more in the blade. I think that the Spartan Blades Enyo is something like just over 2.5, it's like one of those 2 and 5 ace, or yeah, maybe even closer to 3. And the Mini is like a 3.5 inch cutting edge. It's got the finger choil as well. You can choke up on it. Got the ergo grips, skeletonized, so you lose a little bit of weight there as well. But yeah, that's kind of that was my knife progression right there. And I just plan on running Phobos knives for indefinitely as of now. In fact, there's a couple other things I'd like to do with my Phobos knives. This one I got into carbon fiber scales. So I'd like to upgrade the other two to carbon fiber scales. So that's that. Yeah, there's nothing like having a brick hanging off your battle belt smacking you in the leg. Yeah, that's true, man. Oh, yeah, speaking of bricks like that, did you see that the Silky Nada? Yeah, I scraped up one of the, I double checked it. It's yeah, the deal is over on the Silky Nada. They had those things going for like 58 bucks. So yeah, I scoffed up one of those. I'm gonna go a little bit stupid with it. I'm thinking I might even get Cerakoted some custom kydex. It'll be a great thing to practice kydex with as well. Yeah, I'm still looking into that, figuring out. It's going to be an investment to start making kydex, but man, I got to start making something. Got to maintain the sanity somehow. So yeah, that's one of my goals is to start making custom kydex. We're looking into it. Trying to wheel and deal on some of this stuff, some of the tools and everything. But yeah, the if you haven't seen the Silky Nada, man, this thing's it's like a Japanese hatchet machete. I'm sure I've seen tons of reviews and people using them on YouTube and everything. I've used this is one of the few Silky products I actually haven't used. I've used all their saws, Pocket Boys, Gom Boys, Katana Boys, Big Boys, even like pole saws for pruning and stuff like that. Yeah, I've used a lot of Silky, but this I'm really excited about. I know it looks like it's never been used, man. It's still got the wrapper on it. Um, so yeah, anybody that's like, dude, you haven't even used, damn Skip, you haven't used it once yet. I might not even use it until I get it. I'm gonna send it to Burkle Cerakote for some custom Cerakote, and then I'm gonna do a little wrap on the handle, custom lanyard, do a little bling bling. Yeah, 240 millimeters. It's about a 9.5 inch cutting edge. Man, it's got some weight behind it. And a lot of people rant and rave about how good it is for batoning, which makes sense. Yeah, I think this thing's going to baton like a champ. So why beat your field knife, if you can bring something like this? And yeah, I don't know, man. If you catch somebody stealing gear too, you could totally, go full Middle East on them and chop their hand off. Oh, no, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that, guys. I mean, I'm saying you could if you wanted to. It's capable, but should not be cutting people's hands off. That's just kind of goes without saying, right? But yeah, so I just got this thing in. Haven't even, it's snowing outside, not a lot going on, so just been swinging it around like a ninja. Um, but yeah, it's got some weight to it too. I got to get it on the scale and see what it actually weighs. The sheath is a little bit, yeah, it's kind of like it's great for industrial use, stuff like that. One of the things I do like about the silky saws is, um, I don't know, it's kind of like win or lose, you know. It's got the belt loop, so once you got the belt loop on, if you decide you want to take the tool off, it's got a side release buckle, and you can take the sheath off. You can take the sheath and the tool off, and just leave this on the belt. But I mean, really, it's like, why not just have like a snap belt thingy? You know, it does the same thing. Yeah, quarter. I want to say it's about a quarter inch. Yeah, let's put it to the test. Good question, Cannon. Um, yeah, I'd say yeah, that's a full quarter inch. A little over a quarter actually, like maybe even like 5/8, but most definitely a quarter, depending on the accuracy of this tape measure. Anybody ever see that? Here, I saw a short on that. They took like four of the same tape measures and got like four different measurements. It all depends on how they mount it or something. But yeah, definitely a quarter inch, maybe about 5/8, right in between there. But yeah, definitely a sweet setup. And yeah, man, and on the deal, like I really had my thing set out for the Outback version because it's got the black oxide blade, so you know helps with corrosion resistance and stuff. But other than that, the only other thing with the Outback version is these side pieces here are black instead of, I guess this is supposed to be gold or silver or I don't know. I guess they just randomly, it's more like a bronze type weird, almost a coyote color. But yeah, that's the only difference with the Outback. But man, I scored this thing so cheap. Like yeah, instead of $132 for the Outback version, got this one for 58. So man, that covers a Cerakote job right there. And then yeah, I do plan to make a Kydex out of that. Yeah, it is pretty much boom proof, man. It's a hunk of steel, but I definitely want to Cerakote it. Yeah, it is subject to rust and stuff. I forget what. Oh man, I can't even remember what kind of steel it is. The thing is, it all comes written in Japanese, man. I don't. Anybody speak Japanese? Maybe somebody from the Jarhead clan. A lot of you guys get stationed over there, right? Japan. But then, well, just because you're a Marine stationed in Japan doesn't make you literate, does it? I'm sorry, guys. Uh, but yeah, it's got some kind of steel in this thing. B&A was telling me what it's something like 5V or something. It's yeah, it's a good steel, but it's subject to corrosion. You know, if you don't oil it. I haven't seen a lot of them or heard a lot of complaints about that, but yeah, hey man, Cerakote's gonna protect that for sure. Maybe go with like the army green or something like OD green, blade and then black handle. Like I said, do a custom lanyard there. I think yeah, if you're gonna swing it like a chopper, maybe definitely think about a lanyard. Your friends will thank you. So yeah, got that in yeah, just Friday afternoon. Like right, I had it out for Friday's live for a little bit, but definitely a cool setup. So yeah, that's where I went with my knife. Yeah, that guy's never gonna show up. Um, but yeah, interesting, right? But it is what it is. Hey, might as well have a live, have some fun, right? Ain't no harm in having a little fun. So yeah, everybody got the weekend off. Cannon, you working weekends or how's your stuff looking? Speaking of, yeah, I need some crack in a can. Now we'll get it going. Boom boom. Yeah, could you imagine that slipping out of your hand and it be a helicopter of a death? Um, wow, how big is the previous black handle knife? Oh, yeah, it's kind of like not a knife. It's like a machete hatchet. It's like a Japanese hatchet. It's a silky nada. The blade is 240 millimeters, but it's about 10 inches overall from the handle up to the end, and it's got a nice curve to the handle, so it's got a nice swing to it. I know it's still got the protective wrap on it, but I've given, you can tell. If you know, you know. Like, I better be careful I don't take my phone out on the upswing. Um, but yeah, and these were on sale for like 58 bucks, but not anymore. They're sold out. They're all gone. So I'm guessing they're going to come out with a new model. They're going to charge even more, you know? They're going to add like 10 millimeters to it, and 50 bucks is kind of like the trend that's been going on. But yeah, this is outstanding. It might just, like replace a hatchet. But I'm gonna give it the test up here in the good old Northeast, the woods, the great legendary woods of the Northeast, and we'll see how good it gets. But overall, yeah, it's well made, and for the price, it's a banger. Like, you really can't go wrong. Yeah, not this weekend. Thank God my allergies are kicking out my ass. Uh, the juniper is high. I was thinking about pepper spraying myself so I can breathe. Yeah, yeah, pepper spray yourself so you can breathe. Hey man, if you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, here's to all of you though, and yeah, we're rocking the Monster Energy, cracking a can, man. It's delicious. It's what all the cool kids are drinking. Um, yeah, so that's why I busted out we busted out the knives, man. It's all about the knives. But yeah, still rocking the Sage 5. I'm gonna just carry this for a while, man. I absolutely love it. It's a high quality, well built knife. Yeah, Hypernova, Steve. That's the Horkos, the Frike, and the Enyo, all by Spartan Blades on the right here. And then on the left is the Phobos knives, Tier 1 BC, the Phobos Calcula, and the Phobos Tier 1 Mini Mini here on the end with the skeletonized scales. Um, I'm actually, man, I'm still, if somebody's interested, I'm selling the Spartan Blades. Like, anybody that wants all three of those, like 4 and a quarter, I'll ship it to you. Yeah, I love the Horkos too, man. I really do. I enjoyed it for a whole bunch of years. It's a great knife. There's nothing bad about it. I have nothing bad to say about Spartan Blades, like quality, anything like that. Awesome company. Also, their customer service is first rate as well. They'll definitely work with you. I enjoyed this knife for quite a few years. Just doing knife stuff with it though. Absolutely great knife, but I think that for me the Phobos, like, this is awesome field utility. It's kind of like, it does it all, nothing great kind of thing. But highly dependable, highly reliable knife. Dante. Oh, I'm a fixed blade over a folder any day. But the Phobos Tier 1 BC, which is on the left, just a little bit better. A little bit. I like Eric Hansen's design. Definitely more ergo friendly, more comfortable to work with. Couple extra features. Um, it does have the bow drill divot. If you're going to do the friction fire, that's one less piece that you need. So you just need your spindle and your base. It also has this really cool ferrocium rod notch here. So it really, man, this thing throws sparks something fierce, whereas the Horkos doesn't even do it. So I was looking for something a little less military field utility, a little more bushcraft adventure type, multi-purpose type of knife, if that makes sense. And that's why I switched. I would still carry the Horkos for sure, though. but I can only have so many knives. You know, you can only use so many knives. Then if you have too many knives and you're not using them, then people are like, "Oh man, that knife doesn't have patina," or something. It's like whatever, man. The number of channels out there like slinging knives that never even use them. I mean, they cut a couple pieces of paper with it, but that's the end of the story. Like, cut me some slack, dudes. Um, yeah, you have one. Oh, so you've got a Horkos on your bug out bag. Yeah, man, it's an awesome knife, highly reliable, great knife. And like I said, Spartan Blade stands behind it. And when you give them a call, you don't have to speak Mandarin. They speak the English there at Spartan Blades. It's a major plus. Um, but Curtis and Marcus, they're both outstanding gentlemen. Both of them are retired Green Berets, and they run an excellent company. Every time I've never had to deal with them in that sense of like dealing with them. I just like order stuff and it shows up, and it's what they say it is. Yeah, people do whatever they want with their blades. Fuck the haters. Yeah, I'm there too, man. Like, yeah, the man, there's some real royalty out there when it comes to the knife world. If you know what I mean. They love dropping their nasty comments and whatever. It's like, I don't have to explain my whole life story to you. But if you're such a genius, you figured out my entire life from a 35-second short, then more power to you. There's a whole lot more that just never got said. And they're like worth the price. I've always have them when I go hunting. I did 190 elk with that. Yeah, you're definitely getting your money's worth. Yeah, same thing with Phobos knives has great prices for what you're getting, in my opinion. I think they have outstanding prices. Um, in fact, while everybody else has been hiking their prices up, like 2025 Phobos knives actually, it was like January or February, like dropped his prices like permanently, like roughly 20%. So but yeah, I've gotten more than my money's worth out of my Spartan blades for sure. And like I said, I would definitely buy some more Spartan blades. I will eventually. Probably a Harsey folder or something like that. It'd be nice to get a nice pair of Harsey folders, the standard size and then a smaller one. Yeah, smaller one to go with um my Leatherman Wave Plus, and then the larger one I'll throw with my Surge. I kind of do like the Wave Plus and stuff like that is on the pavement EDC, and then the bigger stuff is for more like off the pavement EDC. Yeah, off the pavement EDC. But yeah, interesting stuff. My favorite knives that I'm carrying is the Hogue EXFO1. I haven't gotten my hands on a Hogue yet, honestly. I'd like to try out a Hogue. I used to run a lot of their grips on both my Berettas. I ran Hogue grips. Actually, I had multiple Berettas with Hogue grips, the wraparound, and then I just had the standard rubberized flat replacements on my 84. Yeah, Hogues. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of good news about them. Yeah, I've heard a lot of pros to the Hogue knives. Um, but yeah, something I've definitely got to look more into. So we'll shift some of this stuff. Yeah, I carry a Gerber fixed blade. Dante, which one? There's a lot of Gerber fixed blades. Which ones? I haven't carried Gerbers in years. Since I used to carry like either the Gerber LMF or the BMF, the light multifunction or the basic multifunction. And then as far as folders go, I had like the Gators, and I used to have the flick out multi tool. Yeah, standard like right by the cash register at the PX kind of gear, or yeah, clothing sales, whatever. Oh no, chaos. We were talking about Hogue knives. Um, yeah, we had that sock issued to us and found out They corrode in a lot of salt water. Need to keep it up on the maintenance when you do that. Yeah, salt water eats everything. In fact, yeah, when I had a very limited stunt in scuba diving, I learned real quick. Like, yeah, the ocean is fun, but then you're washing all your gear. If you can go do a freshwater dive somewhere, yeah, then you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to wash all your gear. Yeah, salt water is vicious, especially living down in the Keys, man. And anything, any type of steel furniture or something, it's just if you get a year out of it, it's a miracle. It's 420 HC. But Chaos, how you doing tonight, brother? Welcome to the chat. How goes it with you, my man? Hopefully all is well. Michael West, welcome to the chat. How you doing? Dante carried it through Afghanistan and it did great. Well, hey, that's awesome, man, and welcome home, brother. It is good that you made it back. Um, yeah, I guess. Hey, that's the whole thing with knives. To each their own. Thing kind of comes down to pew pew. The never ending. If I never have another conversation with somebody about which one's better, 9 millimeter, 40 S&W, or 45. And then when you're like, I like 9 millimeter, and, oh no, 45 is the only way. It's the same thing, same difference. Um, nice have similar conversations. The super steel or not super steel, this high quality, that end, yeah. Um, that's good. That's good. Yeah, glad to hear you're doing good, Michael. That's awesome, man. Yeah, staying busy, life treating you well, getting out on adventures. I think everybody's trying to fight the evil man inflation at this point, but um, yeah, a couple of my buddies got left behind, but you got to deal with it. Michael West, I'm a knife guy myself too. I enjoy knives as much as I possibly can. I try not to get into the over consumerism and stuff like that. Yeah, it's weird because in the last like year I've gotten a lot of knives. Well, for me, I've gotten a lot of knives. Normally, like I ran like few knives, and I would rotate them out after a few years or something. But yeah, in the last year or so, I've actually gotten a bunch of knives, and it's kind of hard to use that many knives that often, like in a realistic, real world environment. Not some fantasy land YouTube, it is what I like. 40 there. See, there you have it. 40. You like 45, man. My two favorites for sidearm, 9 millimeter and 380. The only way I'm carrying something bigger is if I'm going into like some solid bear country. That's and that's like West Coast kind of bear country. East Coast, yeah, black bears they're pretty timid, man. Just a good solid fart will send a black bear running. So yeah, yeah, you don't need too much. Yeah, and if I'm really working towards something like that, um, yeah, I'll just 12 gauge, 12 gauge slugs, whatever, and then just yeah. But yeah, all my times outdoors, I've never really had to deal with bears. I've bumped into a couple bears, and they usually it ends pretty quickly. They just kind of go the other way. East Coast bears are pretty timid, especially like down south. They're not like big scary bears. They're kind of like really hairy Great Danes. They're pretty lanky. They've got some real lanky limbs on the southern bears. Different diet, whatever. But yeah, that's who we got rocking. And yeah, Dante, thank you for your service, man. We always appreciate everybody up in here. We do have quite a few veterans that roll through here. Yeah, I hunted bears a lot. Yeah, I didn't get to do a lot of hunting, and not as much as I wanted to. I got busy. I was like career orientated, but It is what it is. It's a life-changing experience, but it was all worth it. I'd like to get back into hunting, but my thing is, I would have to own private land or have access like to some pretty decent private land where I don't have to worry about the average Joe Schmo who thinks he's gonna go out. He played what is it, Trophy Hunter on Xbox, so now he want to go do it for real. But yeah, a lot of people get taking pop shots out there, so I would definitely want private land where I knew it was secure. That would be the only way. I've lost a lot of interest in it. Hell, my favorite cyclist. Yeah, he got shot in a hunting accident. Greg LeMond. Anybody that doesn't know that, yeah, Greg LeMond was shot in a hunting accident. Almost took him off the planet. Took him out of cycling for a few years, but he ended up making a full comeback and winning the Tour de France. So yeah, one time I used a 50 AE and I put 5 shots. It fell off the tree like a pine cone. What state you live in? Get like zero point 0.5 acres and get a cheap stand and you're good to go. I live in New Hampshire, and yeah, I don't think a half acre is going to cut it. I think they require a little bit more. And then you have you can't be within 500 feet of a road or 500 feet or 1,000 feet of another building. So, yeah, they got pretty extensive hunting laws here. You can get away with a lot more like way up northern New Hampshire, but even then, yeah, I've lived through enough stupid stuff in my life. I don't want to accidentally get shot by the idiot who thinks he like is playing Xbox hunting or something. So there are a lot of not smart people out there in the woods with firearms. But yeah, in fact, yeah, yeah, hunting. But anyhow, yeah, back to the knives and stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm gonna be running. Hopefully for this year will be my Phobos knives. But like I said, I got caught up in the comment section and invited somebody to a live to, hey, well, I'll explain it to you. I'll show it to you. But yeah, he didn't show as usual. So gotta get a lot of that on the interwebs. A lot of people talk the talk, but when it comes time to walk the walk, they got no game. Yay, interwebs. So yeah, anybody got anything exciting planned for tomorrow? I'm still doing a live at 7 a.m. Might even start that one a little bit early. We'll see how it goes. We'll see who shows. But yeah, that's my thing for tomorrow. And then usually I spend my Sunday mornings in some different lives. I go over to Grumpy Grunts. In the afternoon, I try to catch Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. He's over in England and in the UK there. Got 50 acres here in Texas. More than welcome. Cannon, I might have to take you up on that at some point, man. In fact, yeah, my daughter lives in Texas, bro. So, yeah, that would be cool. I could go visit my daughter and yeah, hang out with the Jarhead clan. I love that. Man, I still love the Marine Corps. Absolutely 110%. Um, but yeah, man, I may have to take you up on that. Yeah, they also shut down a lot of the areas in New Hampshire that you could go shooting that were just open areas to go. Yeah, yeah, they've done that not just in New Hampshire, but all over the country. New Hampshire, they've buckled down on it pretty hardcore as far as the dispersed camping and public use of land and everything goes. Yeah, they've really buckled down on that stuff. It's hard to get out and do anything anymore. Man, there's some stuff that's like day hikes, man. A lot of the organized hiking, though, like, wow, like you see more people on a trail than you do on a shopping mall nowadays. Or is that just me? Am I the only one noticing that? I mean, I don't know. They shut down the mall here. They closed it down completely. Not enough people shopping at the mall. But if you go to some of the trailheads up in the White Mountains, the presidentials and stuff, I mean, it's like a huge show going on. There's cars parked up and down the road. for like a mile each way, both sides of the road. And it's just, man, all the trails are trampled down, and it's just, yeah, you're dodging people the whole time. There's always somebody moving at like half a mile an hour when you're trying to, borderline trail run it. I think all states should have open carry for pocket knives. Yeah, I agree, man. I think all states should have, and I don't think they should have like all the regulations, like the like I'm pretty sure you can't even own an OTF in New Hampshire. You can own it, but you can't carry it. There's limitations on like automatic knives, like what does it really matter how fast a knife opens? It just, I mean, if somebody's really, really that worried about how fast a knife opens, just carry a fixed blade. You're already there. No buttons, no springs, nothing to malfunction. It's just a fixed blade and it's ready to go. So yeah, none of the rules they're saying are making sense. Cannon, I might have to take a tag along with Bushcraft. Yeah, you hear that? You hear that, Cannon? Yeah, now Chaos wants to come along too. Well, hey man, that's cool. Every group needs its little pet civilian. No offense, Chaos. we're just we're just playing. um, yeah, semi-auto knife should be allowed at least. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, there's some states now, even if it's like a assisted opening, it's not like an automatic. It's an assisted opening, whatever. Yeah, they just don't let it yet. Cannon Mini Bushcraft will just bring our hammocks. Yeah, hey, we could. I would totally be down for some hammock camping in Texas. That would be absolutely. In fact, yeah, I could probably get my daughter in on that too. Um, yeah, she's pretty outdoorsy. She does a little bit of rock climbing, some paddle boarding. She's into camping and stuff. Hell, she's got her own fifth wheel and pickup truck. She's not much of a tent camper, but she likes to go out to the lake. I can understand. She's kind of like a small sized girl. She's a woman now. What am I talking about? She's like 30 years old. But yeah, that's a sad thing, man. Even when our kids are like older, we're still like their kids. But yeah. So she's got her own fifth wheel, her own pickup truck. She, like I said, does some rock climbing, some paddle boarding, into hiking, camping, all that good stuff. Um, but she ain't never going skydiving. So she gets that from her mother, not from me. Yeah, and then I don't know, Kay. I'd invite you up here, but it might be too cold for you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how New Hampshire would if you're used to Texas. Yeah, remember that ice storm that came through a few years ago, caused all that havoc in Texas? Yeah, that's just our average week here in New Hampshire most of the time. Maybe not anymore. I think global warming is finally having an effect, but not enough of an effect. I mean, I'm still out there shoveling, so global warming's just not doing its thing. Yeah, go to Texas in the fall when it's just starting to get cool, and so we don't die. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know which part of Texas you're in, Cannon. But I've spent some time in Rocheron, Texas, which is right between like Houston and Galveston on the Gulf side there. And man, the humidity was next level. Man, even Florida, it gave Florida a run for its money. That Gulf side humidity, that was pretty vicious, man. Air density was good though. A lot of lift in the canopy. But yeah, man, it was so humid there. You could do a backstroke through the air. It was absolutely insane. Um, but hey, man, it was still a good time. I had a great time in that area. I went down to Galveston. I did some of those like duck boat tours, the amphibious things. Yeah, it tends to get a little warm here in the summertime. Yeah, it was vicious down there. But hottest place I ever worked was by far Nevada. Boulder City, Nevada. It's like outside of Las Vegas, man. It's like 104, 105 degrees. Oh, but it's a dry heat. You'll be fine. Like, no, man. It's like I feel like this is what a rotisserie chicken feels like, especially if you're standing out in the pavement. But yeah, man, you could go to the bar and you're already half dehydrated. You don't realize it because the sweat just evaporates as soon as it leaves your body. But yeah, they had those misters, the spray misters coming down and cooling you off, and then kicking back some cold ones. And yeah, next thing you know, you're getting rolled into a cab like, take the bum home. That's desert life for you. Yeah, I'm originally from New Hampshire and I live in Florida, so the temperature shift isn't too bad for me. Yeah, yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, Chaos and I got that in common. I grew up in New Hampshire, but then I still lived in the Northeast half the time, but only in the summer. And then I was down in Florida for the winter. So man, I didn't do a winter for like 16, 17 years. Yeah, I was having a good time. Like I've noticed, like just you need palm trees. If there's palm trees, then there's no snow to shovel. That's the secret to life. So I'm trying to talk Mrs. Bushcraft and hey, let's go down to the palm tree weather where I don't have to go out and start shoveling at 2 in the morning. Um, yeah, it's like being in Iraq. It's great. Just not as many targets of opportunity, right, Cannon? It's yeah, who knows? That's fixing to change pretty soon too. They're yeah, the the peaceful protesters. Oh wow. There's a whole new level of crazy going on out there. Yeah, Cannon's in Waco, so we have to avoid the Colts. Oh yeah, the Colts, man. No, they wrapped them up years ago, man. They took that guy out of there. They even burnt down his house and yeah, I think you got to be cautious of cults anywhere now. I mean, geez, they're even on YouTube. Um, yeah, there's plenty of little like private genre super niche cults on YouTube, man. Just be careful. You'll find your way in one and you'll be like, "What do you mean I can't leave? What do you mean I can't go live without permission? Come on now." It's a free platform, right? So yeah, what else? We'll bust the chest rig out. I keep talking about busting the chest rig out, but yeah, I really haven't done that, have I? Whose fault is that? We'll blame somebody. Mrs. Bushcraft sleeping, so it'll be her fault. Everything is her fault when she's sleeping. Just don't tell her on Sunday morning, guys. Don't be like, oh yeah, Bushcraft was up there talking smack last night. He did a random live. I'm sneaking in live so I can talk smack about the old lady. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, one of us drink. Um, can you know? I'm just joking. You can tell us when you talk. Um, yeah, no, that's yeah. Drink the Kool Aid, right? Oh, yeah, you know all about that. One of us drink the Kool Aid. Well, we all have to drink the Kool Aid, because the government's coming to get us. Wasn't that the Jonestown, right? Anybody know that story? The Jonestown story. If you don't look it up, that'll freak you out. That'll be like, wow, I didn't. I knew there was crazy people, but I didn't know there was that many crazy people. Where'd I had more knife sheaths, guys. Trying to put the tools away so we can make the next fun mess. I am disappointed that guy didn't show up though. That's to be expected. I'll drink the Kool-Aid, but I'm putting whiskey in. Yeah, there you go. Chaos has got the plan, man. You can't go wrong with that one. Yeah, so nobody's ever heard of the Jonestown situation. Um, yeah, that's some heavy duty cult activity there. The Wave Plus, man. What's is anybody still carrying anything? Or yeah, I think everybody's in their lounge pants now, kicking back a cold one. Yeah, Jonestown was back in the 80s, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was like late 70s, early 80s. Is when that happened. Yeah, that was like one of those yeah, like 900 people drank the Kool-Aid. KO Nice sent 100 for 2 joules. Thanks, KO Nice. We appreciate you. Welcome to the chat. How you doing? What What is an occult these days? That's a good point. That's a very valid point. Everything is just like one sandwich shy of a picnic, isn't it? It seems like that. Everything getting crazier and crazier. But yeah, KO knives. Hey, we just went through all the knives, man. You just missed all the knives. Um, yeah. So, man, we are still working on this chest. I haven't really done too much with it. Not by choice, but man, this thing is a money pit once you get going on it. The full tang tactical recon chest rig, doesn't that sound so official and awesome? Like that right there is the whole purchasing point. Wait, you mean to tell me if I have this, I will be the official owner of a full tang tactical recon chest rig. It's 100% modular for whatever it is you want to modulate your needs to do. Um, got a Viper Tech OTF in my pocket. Man, how do you like the OTFs? I don't know. They just do you have any problems with it, man? Like to me, it just always seems like the more moving parts you have, the more likely something is to go south. Um, so yeah, the full tang tactical recon chest rig, man, it's just fun to say. It has 6 by 5 rows of molly in the front here. It also has like a full zippered pouch, for like maps, stuff like that, whatever's clever. You can put a little reading material in there, little travel coloring book with some crayons, just like the 4 pack, like you do in the restaurants. Though only OTF style I carry is a single action. Yeah, yeah, KO, that makes sense. Did you ever check out Mag Warehouse? D2 Tool Steel. Man, I've heard like yeah, D2's Tool Steel is pretty good. Um, yup. Yeah, then you've got the yoke harness set up here. What do the civilians call this stuff, man? Everyday people's. Yeah, it's the chest harness, the yoke portion. Yeah, it's got a 1 inch molly all the way down around to the back, couple of D rings there for whatever you want to maybe put on a good old like a good old fashioned fanny pack. Anybody remember those? Um, I've got my 704 Gear Strider D2 steel folder. I don't need an OTF failing to deploy because of a small bit of lint. What a joke. Yeah, that's a thing, man. That's yeah, yeah, KO knives. That's why I'm man. I EDC a fixed blade. I have for like man many years now. Just because of that. Sometimes I wouldn't even carry my folding knife just because I just didn't feel like picking the pocket lint out of it right later. Like I'm sure everybody's been in that situation. Like yeah, you just kind of like I need to cut down the amount of gear maintenance I'm doing. So yeah, I would leave the folder behind and just fix blades. And then yeah, same thing. There's no moving parts to fail, all that good stuff. But yeah, the back portion of this is it opens up fully. Goes just about to the bottom. When you're wearing it, it does pretty good. You don't have to worry about spilling everything. Let's see. On the back side here at the bottom, I've got the Exotac Match Cap XL, so matches. Right above it, I've got the Exotac Titan Light, a refillable lighter. Can't go wrong with that. And then at the top right here, I've got the Rip Spool. So, yeah, duct tape doubles as kindling if you need it to. I've got some basic repair. It's got a sewing needle inside of it, some braided line. You could even use it as like a little micro hobo fishing reel if you wanted to. But, yeah, gear repair, a little bit of fire starting skills. Yeah, I don't wear a belt because my pants don't have belt loops. No fixies for me. Yeah, KO, that's the whole thing, man. You could, the pocket fixie. Yeah, that's becoming a trendy thing. I don't know. I've been doing the pocket fixie thing for years and years and didn't even realize it was even a thing. In fact, I was doing it with a couple of the knives I had out earlier, my Spartan blades. So yeah, so back left here, we basically got, yeah, like fire starting tools and some fire starter repair, Exotac kind of like cut it down the middle with that one. Over on the side here, this is the 5x7 or 5x8 organizer from Hill People Gear in here. This major portion right here. And I've got the Olight Warrior Mini 2. Great flashlight, runs off the 18650. I've got my Leatherman Raptor shears, my Leatherman Surge. I've got my Vargo spoon and fork because I don't need to be a savage. use some utensils. We've also got the 2-piece Vargo titanium chopsticks in there because hey man, everybody knows if you can sit down and enjoy chow without having to be a savage and use your fingers, it just makes life a little bit more decent. In the zippered pouch behind it, I've got my Leatherman bits, the bit kits there. I've got some Energizer lithium AAA batteries to replace my batteries and stuff. I've got a backup Olight i3T2 EOS AAA flashlight as a backup. It double clip, you can put it on the cap as a headlamp if you have to. So yeah, flat backup batteries and flashlight. Some spare blades for the Leatherman Surge, the diamond and the cutting one. I've got a Fresno lens. Never really used one of these for starting fires. I mean, you could do the 1980s thing and cook some ants. Who here's done that, right? I haven't done it since I was a grown up, though, honest. But also good if you gotta pick out a tick or any of that stuff. If you gotta read some fine print on a label, I think everything's in micro print now. And then I've got a couple of Trend diamond sharpening plates. They're 2x3-inch diamond sharpening plates. One of them is 180 and 300. The other one is 600 and 1000. 300 and 600. No, this one's 180 and 300. So yeah, 180 and 300. The other one is 300 and 600. And then they've got a third one that goes 600, 1000. So if you got to do any emergency field sharpening, I know that, like one of the things people complain about, like super steels, is they're difficult to sharpen, blah, blah. No, it's the same to sharpen. You just change the media. Instead of using a stone, you use a diamond plate. And that's what both of these are. So if I do have to do some field sharpening, yeah, I can at least get it back to a highly functional edge. So these things are great. And the prices vary all over. Trend stopped selling directly, and the only place I can find them now is on Scamazon. And of course, when you buy the first two, then the third one goes from $20 up to $35 because they do that real-time pricing now. And like, how much money can we scam you out of? I've also got a P38 can opener, and there should be a P38 and a P51 can opener in here as well. So sharpening plate, yeah, some must-have stuff. I've also got some flints for the Exotac Titan lighter. Kind of important to have. I've got to figure out some type of way to carry around a little bit of fuel. Like some type of 1.5 ounce, 1 ounce, 2 ounce squeeze bottle or something. That kind of fits the kit, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's easy to carry the flints. There's got to be a great way to carry some fuel. I'll figure it out exactly. Oh, Hypernova Steve, thanks, man. Yeah, it's something I'm working on. It's a work in progress. Trying to use some logic and ration and without turning it into a YouTube kit. The YouTube kit. I've got I've got 897 items in this one bag, but 19 of them are banned. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Just because there's a slot there doesn't mean you have to fill it. Yeah, so we're trying to put this together logically and rationally. There is a saw, what's going to go up here. There is a skeletonized version of a Silky 240, which I have to get. It's $115 now, though, or something. Maybe, or I could just use this Gomboy 240. That'll go right up there. I'm probably going to mount my Calcula. There's a Velcro mount that you can get that I can slot in the back. Or I might just throw some Velcro on this sheath itself. Get in the hole. Yeah, so we might do something a little bit like this. You know, we're going to do some adjusting once we get it properly attached. Greg Vanderlip, what's happening, my man? Welcome to the chat. It's been a minute, brother. How are you doing this evening? That's awesome. You are a beautiful... Wow, with a screen name like Food Stamps 1. Come on, man. Way to rock the EBT. Like, hey, kudos to you. There's always one in every crowd. So that's where this is going, this back panel. This would be the point of view, like this is the part that's going to go up against your chest here. So we just went through that far back. Now, all of this is Velcro. You could always just, you know, slap a holster there for your pew-pew if you wanted to. On the sides here, there's some quick open tabs. Open sesame. You can set these. Oh, I think we lost the live. Is it still going? Are we still here? Are we still live? How do you do? Oh, the emergency toothpick, man. I'm working on the emergency toothpick. Well, we're not even BSing about that. Capcom has been sold out of them. Yeah, I'm going to go with the emergency titanium toothpick when they're back in stock. But yeah, thanks for reminding me. In fact, I got to check the status of that. A lot of pain, still doing both jobs yesterday and today. First time in weeks. Get more than an hour or two of sleep in a day. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Greg, man. Sometimes, yeah, sleep deprivation can run you down for sure. No doubt about that. Get some sleep when you can, brother. And, yeah, hopefully you start feeling better. But, yeah, it's awesome. There's always, that is just priceless. A C4 your hat. Yeah, so this backside, once you open it up, you know hypothermia is a real thing. So got some space blankets here, some hand warmers, one of the oversized body warmers and stuff. That's what I got with that. Got some propels, like replace a little electrolytes. We're gonna upgrade that. Can of Provisions has got some great, like, well packaged stuff I'm gonna try to slip into this kit. I've got a few other things to go. We're going to get some cordage and other things. We're going to do some expansions on this. In fact, the whole, this entire front section basically has nothing in it as of yet. But I'm going to put some land nav stuff in here, you know, classic, some recording materials, notebooks, some pens, pencil, Sharpies. It just wouldn't be a kit without a Sharpie now, would it? And yeah, we've got a few other things planned, but yeah, it's the bills for this bad boy is stacking up, man. This is but I'm digging it, guys. It's coming out great. I'm happy. I think it's going to be a well-rounded, all of, you know, kind of adventure, survival, bushcraft. Let's get off the beaten path, have a little fun kind of thing. It's not going to be super duper tactical, but highly functional. I mean, you could turn this thing into a loadout. Like, they've got like a kangaroo pocket. You can, where we've got the knife right here, this can pop open all the way down. You can put a kangaroo pocket in there, for like just odds and ends, like zipper closure. You can get it like 3 mags. This portion here, where I've got the space blankets and everything, these right here will take up to 308 mags as well. So, I mean, if you put a kangaroo pouch with a triple here, you've got, like, you know, we'll just go with, you know, standard M4 mags, whatever. You could put 3 of them across the back here. You've got your, like, basic load out of 6. You've got 6 backups and then, one in the gun. When are we going to get a tactical fanny pack? Oh man, yeah, there's plenty of them out there. We'll probably get a tactical fanny pack for sure. I don't know, man. I'm Gen X, so fanny packs were, they were the bling bling back in the day, definitely in the 80s and early 90s. So, yeah, Heliocon Tech has got a couple. There's a few floating around that might be worth checking out. Yeah, in fact, Grail's got some. If depending on what you're looking to carry, but yeah. What do you run a fanny pack? It sounded like, yeah, like I don't know, quite possibly. Yeah, it's even more fun when you're vicious. All right, people at job number one, it won't. All right, hey Greg, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate you seeing you. Man, yeah, definitely get some rest, and hopefully everything's working out for you. Gotta, take it one day at a time, brother. Memes Jartinas, I have 3 of the Eberly stock Bando bags. They're excellent. Yeah, I've been looking into some of the Eberly stock lately. In fact, specifically like the Eberly stock 3000. Nice, clean. Yeah, it's got what you need without all the bells and whistles. Yeah, that's Eberly stock's got some pretty nice gear. Definitely gonna look more into their stuff. I take my fanny pack everywhere. That's where I keep my emergency toothpicks. Hey, right. Hey, man, everybody's got their priorities, man. And if emergency toothpicks is big on your list, then, yeah, I would just, yeah, rather than carry multiples, though, maybe a couple of titanium ones, man. I mean, if you're really going to go all out, if you're going to rock the toothpicks, if you're going to be the toothpick man, I would most definitely get some titanium ones. Yeah, I saw it on the internet the other day. It's what all the cool kids are doing. Just can't do the fanny pack thing. Not everybody can, Cannon. Not everybody can. That's the whole thing. I seriously believe he's tried it. He's probably just like, no, it's just not. If the Marine Corps wanted me to have a fanny pack, they would have issued me one, and they did not. So he just can't do it. But hell yeah, I'll rock a fanny pack, man. You got a, small, medium, whatever. It's nice. It adds like another belt. You can, yeah, they got to make like some super duper industrial one. But yeah, I have a slightly built out sling pack that I carry every day. Yeah, that's one that I can't understand. Like, total power to everybody. It like. As long as it's a sling bag, like I know what a sling bag is. I understand its design thoroughly. People wearing fanny packs across their chest doesn't make it a sling bag. It's still a fanny pack. You're just wearing it across your chest. There's if it's a sling bag, it's a sling bag. If it's a fanny pack, it's a fanny pack. But you don't see people with sling bags trying to wear them around their waist, do you? Never see that. I got a sling pack that I do carry. Who stole Bando's bag? Oh, Bando. Somebody stole Bando's bag. What? Who there? Who that? God, I need a swig of this. Yeah, that's the only thing I've noticed. That I'm kind of like, come on, guys. Just call it a fanny pack, but you can't wear it as a fanny pack, so you call it a sling bag and wear it across your chest. Yeah, not the same. Who's that crazy company that has it? They've got a fanny pack that they call a sling bag, and the thing's like $400. Like, what are they making that, dude? I can make you half a parachute for that kind of money. It'd be a reserve, but still, nonetheless. Yeah, $400 for a fanny pack, and but it's got Cateman Tower. Fanny pack wearers and sling bag wearers unite. Yeah, stolen valor, huh? Whatever. Go make out with your mom some more. Another moron that would never use any of that equipment. Yeah, okay, go. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Kate McDougal, huh? You seem totally fake. Joined June 4th, 2023. Kate McDougal, huh? Everything about you is fake. You're probably got a beard and everything, right? Totally catfishing. Yeah, Kate McDougal, huh? Do you even know your father? Join my fanny pack. Yeah, go join the fanny pack army. Kate McDougal. You come across as the kind of person that's like a village bicycle, if you know what I mean. Kate McDougal, the village bicycle. Everybody's had a turn. Probably like one of those like real weird ones too. It's like it's fun to ride, but you don't want any of your friends to see you riding it, like a moped, right? No, the other guy said he hadn't ever released stock Bando bag. Oh yeah, he might not know Bando. I don't know. Yeah, if he doesn't know Bando picks, it might be a little bit complicated. Yeah, I've the internet is filled with so many morons nowadays. Yeah, a whole bunch of underachievers. Probably another one of those ones that grew up on participation trophies and special. Everything had to be a special moment. Yeah, never accomplished anything in Kate McDougal's life. Uh, yeah. I've been. That's the whole thing. Like, I'm so sick of ignorant, like internet people. Like, I've legitimately been doing this my entire life. Not on Xbox, not on PlayStation, not on the interwebs, but like seriously, my entire life. And you've got these people that come in here like absolute asshats, the whole lot of them. How much Kool-Aid can I put in the thermos back there? Yeah, hey, well, how about you go buy one of those thermoses back there and you figure it out on your own there, Nitzel Nuts. Like, yeah, I get, like, yeah, they come in here playing their game. It was a 4 liter. But yeah, and the sad thing is man, for the amount I get trolled, I know it's the same people over and over again saying the same things. Like, and the sad reality is they're like the tabletop queens of the interweb. I mean, really, they are. Like, they want to talk. Like, I own 600 knives. Like, how much are you actually using those, my man? Or I review 300 knives in a year. How do you expect me to remember the name of one of them? It's like, oh, that's awesome, man. 300 knives in 1 year, not one of them worth remembering. Yeah, I just, it is what it is. Whole lot of stupid going on around here. Yeah, I don't give a damn who he knows. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, hey, man. That's the important part. But, usable EDC, practical and used, exactly my philosophy as well. Oh yeah, and I also believe in evolution, man. Like, as you go through your gear evolution throughout your life, you're gonna upgrade stuff. You're gonna switch stuff out. You're gonna realize that the stuff they're selling at Walmart's crap, and there's no point in wasting your money because it's just gonna be a bunch of useless crap in a useless bag. Yeah, the whole bug out bag theory, like that's just I don't even know what to say about that stuff anymore. But yeah, there's an avid amount of people that come in here. I bet you they don't have a tenth the experience I do. I bet you most of them don't even have 1/100th of the experience that I do. But they all come in here with big mouths, and I'm gonna support Mike Tyson and what the internet's made people a little too comfortable with being rude and not getting punched in the mouth for it. Um, but yeah, I keep it real. Yeah, I'm building some new kits. I'm making some changes, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm at least going back on decades of experience. I don't know. Um, what, you don't take that all with you? Yeah. Yeah, no, man. In fact, I personally believe, especially in a four season environment where I'm at now, like I think you should have a master kit of gear. And it should cover stuff from like lightweight to like heavy usage. Yeah, the right tool for the right time. I mean, am I going out there and I just got to clear a firing lane because I'm gonna use my bow or something, or a rifle hunt or something like that? Yeah, am I just clearing a little bit of foliage so I can set up my tent and not have branches sticking in the side of it? Or am I going out there to build the super secret undercover YouTube dugout? The super secret bomb shelter. Yeah, totally different tools. Am I carrying something because there's a possibility that I might use it, but highly unlikely that I will? Yeah, that's when maybe you can get away with a little pocket boy or something. But yeah, if I'm going out there to build an actual natural materials shelter or something, a natural lean-to out of debris or wood or something, yeah, I'm probably gonna bring a little bit bigger of a saw. Yeah, I go by the philosophy pounds. Are paying them. I'm too old for pain. Yeah, my first change in 4 years. Start carrying an MKC Super Cub in place of a Benchmade 9400 Osborne and an EMP EDC Pulse. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've gone through a lot of changes lately. I don't know. I used to have a really like I never changed more than one piece of gear at a time. Habit I picked up from skydiving. Like that was a thing. Never change more than one piece of gear at a time. Every time you change something, you change the entire scenario. So change one thing, adjust to it, get used to it, decide if it's a keeper, if you're going back to what you were using or trying something new. Once you've settled in on that, if you decide to change something else, yeah, but always change one thing at a time. Um, yeah, knowledge is the first tool to take you further than any physical tool. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, where we get it, and the more you know, the less you carry. But then you become a gram weenie. Yeah, then you're doing unrealistic YouTube videos. Like I'm gonna survive for 365 days with just the five C's. Like whatever the five C's is. Yeah, I'm done with the whole. I'll never title anything the five C's or the 10 C's or anything. My titles will be more like, here's some shit. Let's go out and use it. Um, Osborne is, yeah, man. I was into Benchmade for a little while. I was really interested in it. Then they started jacking their prices up, and I just watched the prices skyrocket. And I'm like, you know what? I've never owned one. I'm not good. Well, no, actually, I have owned Benchmades, but not a folder. I had the Benchmade Nimravis, and I never really got into using it too much. 'Cause right hand sheath only. But anyhow, yeah, I'd survive as long as I got my fanny pack. I'm sure you would, man. It's the fanny pack is key to any survival situation. I'm sure. Yeah, that's a kind of crap Bear Grylls and Dave Canterbury and stuff is pitching you. And as soon as they're done telling you that, they'll be like, "And I got this wax canvas one. If you click the description in the link below, yeah, um, yeah, first layer of my belt and pockets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can go through. Yeah, the first line of gear is what's in your pockets, and then yeah, everybody wants to have a belt now, a leather belt, so you can. I got to strap my knife with my belt. Yeah, that's why you should always have. But I don't like leather belts because when you sweat, they soften up and they stretch and they just deform to holy hell. And that's leather in a nutshell, though. Yeah, yeah. See, now now I'm gonna go ahead and call. Oh no, that's wrong, man. It's not your go bag. Because yeah, if you're first, your first first line gear is what you're wearing: your pants, your belt, whatever's in your pockets, your boots, your hat, whatever you stuck in that little pocket in your hat. Second line is like your TA-50. What does the Marine Corps call it? Isn't it TA-50 something like that? But that's going to be your working belt, or by modern standards, your battle belt or your bushcraft belt or whatever, along with any suspenders, any kit attached to that. That's your second. And then third line gear is your backpack. Like that's the SOP, standard operating procedures, universally known, right? USA, you're on the Ranger thought processing, if I'm correct. Yeah, next belt has been fantastic. I don't know, man. The best belts I've ever used, I made them. So I make a well, I used to make a really cool belt. Don't have any of them kicking around anymore. Ironically, I can make an awesome belt. I just don't have the compound walking foot sewing machine that it's going to take for $2,500 to start the building process. So I'm stuck paying exorbitant prices for whatever's on the market. Yeah, USA, you're on the Ranger thought process. Yeah, third layer my second layer my go bag, third layer my home. Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about there. That's a whole new news thing to me. I've never heard it measured out that way. Like really not once. Yeah, it's always like, yeah, first line, second line, third line. That is the best why I know how to make what you need. Oh yeah, but having the means to make it, like, yeah, man, I can make a better backpack than anybody on the market. I just don't have the gear to make it. Yeah, I could pick anybody. Everly Stock, I can give them a run for their money. Mystery Ranch, I could give them a run for their money. Full Tang Tactical, I can give them a run for their money. It's really it's a lot simpler than what it sounds. But yeah, I could take any Everly Stock pack and I could put wings on it and fly it. Yeah, I believe that's a Ranger survival handbook. The layers of survival, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's all too. There's not any real authorities on it. I think that's the problem. Like, yeah, you can reference like a military seer book or something. There's like civilian search and rescue stuff. That's I got involved in that quite a bit. And yeah, part of search and rescue is they teach you like how to be self sufficient, how to self rescue, because you don't want to become a liability when you're on a search and rescue mission. So they're very adamant about making sure you know how to take care of yourself, stay hydrated, and find your way, all that good stuff. Yeah. Back in the 80s, as a Boy Scout in Japan, Navy brat, I had a book on how to make your camping gear. Yeah, man. Back in the late 80s, I was a camp counselor at the Boy Scout camp. Yeah, Camp Carpenter, right in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was awesome. We got to do a bit of an exchange program with some of the guys from England. So yeah, that was my. It was a pretty good job too. Like, I was like 14 when I started doing that, and they were paying like $2,800 for the summer, and you'd work like 5 days a week as a camp counselor, and then you get a couple days off, go home, do laundry, come back, do another 5 days worth of camping. Yeah, so I didn't do the Boy Scout thing from the Boy Scout thing really. I did the Boy Scouts thing as more like an instructor thing. But yeah, I got to engage in all the activities and stuff, and use the grounds and do all kinds of natural shelters and all that stuff. Like I said, we also did it in Civil Air Patrol as well. Got into a lot of that stuff. I did 6 years of Civil Air Patrol, and then 4 years of Naval Junior ROTC, and then I was active duty in the Army. So yeah, I've spent my fair share of time outdoors. And when it comes to sewing products, and I'm gonna go ahead and toot my own horn here because this is YouTube. Why not? I'm going to go ahead and promote myself and say that there is not a single gear reviewer in the soft products category that can review gear with the experience and knowledge that I have. Just can't be done. There's not. I don't pick any YouTube gear reviewer, and yeah, they can't compete with my knowledge when it comes to sewing products, because yeah, that's where I'm at with YouTube. I mean, if you got some superpowers, flex them, right? So I'm gonna flex them. I've sewn the most complex sewing products ever known to mankind. I was involved in R&D and test jumping wingsuits for like 7 years. I jumped out of airplanes for 27 years. I'm an FAA certificated master parachute rigger. Yeah, I know things about sewing that some of these companies wish they understood. Um, Sewing is a basic skill. Okay, sew a wingsuit and jump out of an airplane with it then. Sewing is a basic skill. Okay, dude. If it like let's it it's you've probably never sewn a product in your life, have you? I guarantee it's a lot more complicated, especially when it's gotta be rated. Like when it's life supporting gear. Like yeah, if I like oh being a mechanic is a basic skill, you know? Yeah, okay. Understanding sewn products and how things are built, yeah. You are you usable EDC, huh? You're quite the troll, man. I really that's where you're leaning towards. Yeah, November 25th, 2024. Yeah, you're kind of this coming across more like a troll account. Either that or you're some uneducated Gen Z or just life full of participation trophies and BS. Lindsay, welcome to the chat. I mean, yeah, oh, yeah, basic sewing is a basic skill. Like, yeah, sewing a straight line on a curtain, yeah, probably a basic skill. Probably something most of y'all can't do anyhow. Um, but yeah, man, I can build an entire parachute harness container system, and I'll tell you, it's far more complex than what you think it is. But you have no way to compare it, so you haven't got a clue. Um, yeah, I can show a button on a uniform. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cannon, that's where I was at, man. In fact, yeah, man, I never sewed any of my own patches on. Like when I was in the Civil Air Patrol and Junior ROTC, my grandmother would do it, because she's a Marine and that's the kind of thing she would do. So my grandmother did all my Civil Air Patrol and my Naval Junior ROTC uniforms. And then when I was in the Army on active duty, I just brought it to the dry cleaners and, like, hey, sew these on and, pay the bill. In fact, in the eighth grade in my home economics class, where back when they used to teach you how to cook and do stuff like that, cook and sew and everything. I was like, when am I ever going to sew? I paid a friend of mine to do the final sewing project. Totally cheated 110%. Like, when am I ever going to sew anything? And then, yeah, fast forward 20 years later, and I'm leading the R&D on wingsuits. Yeah, sewing wings. I'm like one of like at the time I was like one of about maybe 15 people in the world that could actually like design patterns and sew a wingsuit, and then have the nuts to jump out of the plane with it. Didn't always go as planned though. There was quite the learning process there. Doing the complex safety sewing is a different thing. Yeah. Yeah, understanding where you need bar tacks, what type of thread types you need, what type of sewing patterns, whether it's a W pattern or whatever. Box X, though. In fact, look at most of your gear. Most of they don't even sew a box X-ray, so there's no integrity into the sewing. But if you look at a box X and you don't know what you're looking at, they all look the same. But there is a specific pattern to it, and there's a reason for it. Um, I never made accusations against you. I said all the equipment, yeah, was yeah, and dude, most of it's brand new. In fact, yeah, Tuck, you showed up, man, or Turk, yeah. Like here's a great example, man. This is a silky nada. Look at that, still got the plastic wrap on it, man. Still so shiny. But yeah, I've been doing this stuff. In fact, I give away a ton of gear. That's where some of my gear goes. My entire adult life, I never lived in the same place for more than 6 months due to occupational changes. Being a professional skydiver, I worked typically in the Northeast, spring, summer, and fall. And then winters, I would ride my Cannondale to Florida, where I would continue my skydiving job with the snowbirds. So one of the reasons why my gear rotated so much is because yeah, every 6 months I moved. But I didn't just give away saws and axes and things like that. I gave away like PlayStations and Xboxes and games and furniture and dishes and whatever else. But yeah, my background, like most people, like I was knee high to a grasshopper, 4 or 5 years old. Went out with my grandfather, my father, my uncles, and stuff like that. Did a lot of hiking, fishing, trapping up in Colebrook, New Hampshire. Did that growing up. So I don't know when I started outdoor stuff. Maybe 5, 6 years old, casting my own line. Yeah, and then I just did outdoor stuff. When I was 10, I started outdoor rock climbing because there really wasn't indoor rock climbing. Um, Starting junior high, I started Civil Air Patrol. Like I was saying earlier, I did 6 years of Civil Air Patrol. Got my Billy Mitchell Award, earning myself my E3 once over for that, twice over for my 4 years at Naval Junior ROTC at West High School in Manchester, New Hampshire. So it was Civil Air Patrol. I got into search and rescue, a lot of things like that. Naval Junior ROTC, what a joke that was. But hey, I was on the rifle team every Tuesday. We went shooting, drill team on Thursday. So anybody who remembers the classic movie Taps, yeah, I can rock the Queen Anne salute like a champ. Yeah, went on active duty, was a bit of a lanyard puller. That kind of sucked, but it got me airborne school. So it was in August of 1993 is when I started jumping out of airplanes. But then I got stuck in a leg unit, man, which really sucked. So I really wanted to jump out of airplanes more. So I started going to civilian jump centers, where I started working on my civilian jump numbers, racking up my logbooks, gaining experience. Apprenticed for a year towards my senior riggers rating. Took my exam for my senior riggers rating. Spent 2,000 hours a year for the next 3 years working towards my master riggers rating. Took my master riggers exam, passed that, and been a master parachute rigger ever since. But part of the perks, like I was saying earlier, is I would work in the Northeast spring, summer, and fall, and down in Florida most of the time for the winter. But I would ride my Cannondale there. I would do, a 2,300 mile bicycle ride, depending on where my start and finish was. It could be like Skydive Long Island and East Marches Long Island down to Skydive Key West at mile marker 17, Lower Sugarloaf Key in Florida. Little over 2,400 mile bicycle ride, self-supported the whole way. Tent. I mean, I've still got some of it. I've rotated through so much gear though. Probably went through 30 sets of tires. Yeah, I threw away the 29 that I wore out. Um, yeah, some of it. But anyhow, wingsuit is that the thing with the webbing in between the legs and the arms? Yeah, Cannon. Yeah, the wingsuit. It's the flying squirrel suits. Yeah, I spent 7 years specifically for Tony suits out of Zephyr Hills, Florida, leading the R&D research and development team as well as test jumping them, working with like world-class skydivers like Jeff Nebelkoff, Tyle Weiss, Justin Shorb, Jeb Corliss. In fact, one of my last wingsuit designs that I did was the Apache X. And that was made specifically for Jeb Corliss, and he made a YouTube video. It's called "Grinding the Crack." But yeah, he did the jump. I built the suit, but I worked a lot of the bugs out of the suit along the way. Haven't been an arborist. I've had to rely on properly sewn equipment. I can't do that type of work. I left that to professionals. Oh, I haven't been an arborist. Man, one of my pilots was an arborist. And if you're a well-known arborist, if you're well, you can find him. His name's John Greer. He used to be a world champ arborist, and he got tired of playing the tree game and started. His dream was to be a pilot, so he became a pilot and started flying jumpers. And when our downtime came around, we would talk some shop. We talked about like he talked about his climbing background, and I talked about rock climbing, and we ended up doing some tree work together. So this is an important part for if Turek is still here. Yeah. So when it comes to silky saws, I've worked in the arborist field. I've gotten to work with just about every silky saw made to mankind, from the pocket boys, the gom boys, the big boys, as well as the pole saws and things like that. But I use them in their original application. Silky originally designed their tools for arborist works. Did it for. Oh, so you drive a chip truck? Yeah, so I started learning block dropping and stuff like that. He started to we went to do arborist work for the fun of it. We did a lot of disaster relief stuff though. Like there was a hurricane that went through, so we flew up to West Deptford, New Jersey, for like 2 weeks to help with stuff like that. We did a bunch of removals and stuff. Was it Hurricane Sandy that went through Long Island, that area? But yeah, man, I full on got into arborist work, disaster relief stuff, doing removals and stuff, taking them off of houses, whatever was out there, doing city contracts, clearing roads and everything. And then for fun, sometimes we go out and do some pruning. Because if you've done arborist work and you've done like hand pruning up in a large oak tree or something like that, lots of rope work, lots of running around. That's where the Silky Zubot comes in. Number one saw used by pruning arborists. It's actually designed to strap to your leg, which is where most people put it climbing. Yeah, Hurricane Sandy destroyed us here on Long Island. Yeah, the Ink Man, dude. It totally changes East Moriches Bay. In fact, I was working there. There was two major drop zones that I worked for on Long Island, Skydive South Shore and Skydive Long Island, both owned by Brian Erler at the time. And so I was working up there on Long Island in the summer, and then down in Key West at Skydive Key West in the winters. And so yeah, we did our regular skydiving thing. I was actually down in Florida when the hurricane went through. When I came back the next year, the following spring, so I got a bird's eye aerial view right from like 14,000 feet. Like you can see, like that hurricane changed the shoreline there. Absolutely incredible stuff. Yeah, I did a lot, but that we did it for fun, man. I was usually located somewheres, for a while I worked in Collegeville as well. Collegeville, Pennsylvania is like northeast of Philly. Uh, yeah, about like 45 miles or so, in Collegeville. And so we would go up to Pennsylvania and do a bunch of tree work. In fact, if are you familiar with Cheryl Tree? They're out of Pennsylvania. My buddy John Greer had a lot to do with a lot of saddle design and stuff like that. Like if you know tree work, he's one of those. He's a Richard Cranium that'll take two throw balls at the same time, one in each hand, call out the notches, and launch them up there perfect every time. He's one of those guys. Yeah, just like Gloria in the '80s. Yeah, I remember Gloria in the '80s. Opened up the new inlet across the Bellport. Cheesy Moon Workshop, what's happening? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, so for me, arborist work was like, yeah, man, probably like 80% disaster relief, 20% recreational pruning. Because, yeah, going up on a tree with a rope and doing stupid stuff just seemed natural for me. Like, because, yeah, we couldn't go skydiving, so we might as well go arboristing, right? I don't know if arboristing is a real word, but man, it sounded great. Yeah, open up the new inlet across the Bellport. Yeah. But yeah, Cheesy Moon, how you doing? How's life been treating you? Well, that's yeah, I don't know. Is it freezing up for you guys? I keep getting the frozen yeah, I was playing outside during the Eye of Glory. I was about 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, the Ink Man, same here. Yeah, I was in New Hampshire. We didn't get it quite as bad. Yeah, I remember that thoroughly though. It was such a big deal, and Yeah, even here in New Hampshire, we have like that little Hampton Beach. We've got some real short coastline here in New Hampshire, but yeah, it was all the news because the waves were crashing up over the seawall and going into the main boardwalk area and stuff, Hampton Beach and whatnot. But yeah, so when people come in there and they're like, "Hey man, your silky saw looks brand new," I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, it is. It's absolutely 110% brand new. I haven't had the chance to use it, but I have used enough silky saws that I can tell you that, unless for some reason one of the ones I have has some random manufacturer defect, I can tell you it's a great saw. I've used plenty of them. But yeah, I'm replacing all my gear, changing some new stuff out. Like I haven't used a chest rig since man, the early 1990s. Since I was like 16, I was on the National Ski Patrol. And yeah, we had a chest rig with our radio and, some basic medical supply stuff. We didn't have cell phones back then, but yeah, we had like Motorola HT90s or something. And that would go in the a bib pocket or chest rig, whatever they want to call it. And we had fanny packs too that we carried a bunch of medical supplies in as well. But yeah, the chest rig has been around for a long time. The only time I've really ever used one, like I said, was on the ski patrol. But hey, man, there's no better way to get free ski passes than being a volunteer ski patroller. We could get like free ski passes anywhere along like Route 93 in New Hampshire, like all day long. That we had those Rust and Navy parkas, and every ski resort that used the National Ski Patrol gave people on the National Ski Patrol like free passes. And my high school girlfriend was a ski instructor. She taught the little kids and stuff, so I could get us a pair of free ski passes anywhere. Um, did you have a Saint Bernard with the barrel on the collar? No, I haven't had a Saint Bernard with the barrel on the collar, but I have had a German Shepherd with some saddlebags. Is that like, am I qualified, or does it have to be a Saint Bernard, or are you just being like facetiously vindictive, passive aggressive asshat? Like, I mean, yeah, no, but I did have a German Shepherd with some saddlebags. Maybe I'll get another one. I think that's one of the things with YouTube. If you're gonna do an outdoor channel, if you're gonna be taken seriously, you have to have like the canine companionship. That's yeah, all the channels that make it are all they all come out with their dogs and entertain the people with their puppies. Yeah, Saint Bernard's seen rescuing people in snow. Yeah, yeah, they sure have. But yeah, I just have a pit bull that keeps eating the neighbor's cats. Yeah, rock on, chaos. The less cats, the better the world. In fact, I'm retracting. I think we should keep the Somalis in the U.S. I don't think we should deport any of them. I heard they like to eat cats. So for that reason, I'm gonna change my standpoint with that. Like we should let them all stay. We should move them around the country, wherever that nasty feline infestation is going on. We'll have it taken care of. I can give you a corgi. Cannon, that's not even an appetizer. That's like you could eat the whole corgi. It's like two crayons, brother. It's not even yeah, it's not fair at that point. It's not even a proper tease. Cannon corgis are such it's chaos. It's not a dog, it's a barking cat, man. How many times we gotta go through this? And Cannon's really secure in his masculinity. You got to be a man when you can sit there and say like, my dog is a corgi, and just be. I get total like, oh man, the whole Marine Corps tone of voice and everything. My dog is a corgi. Rawr. Cannon, you got to get some video. Like, yeah, turn your phone on and go up to your corgi and be like, show me your war face. I want to see your war face. Show me that corgi war face. That's what I'm saying, Ink Man. Yeah. Yeah, ankle biters are not dogs. They're barking cats. They're just glorified barking cats. They're cats that like realize we like dogs better, and if it barks like a dog, then it might get some proper attention. But you look at it and you're like, there's no way. That's like It's just not. It's not right. Chaos is like Cannon corgis are such naturally funny dogs. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, Cannon, you can be on YouTube. You have a YouTube account. You just have to start making shorts every now and then, like I do. If I can't rip out an intruder's throat, it's not a. Yeah, exactly. See, Ground Fog's on the same page. He knows what he's talking about. Like, yeah, if it can't do like oh, what was that Nicolas Cage movie? If it can't do like the proper face transplant thing, it's just not a dog. What could possibly go wrong with that plan? How are we doing on time here, though? We're doing awesome. Yeah, my dog doesn't bark. He howls and talks. What do you? Oh, oh man, you got a husky? Huskies are like famous for that. Man, they're awesome dogs, but man, they talk a lot. Well, my pit bull practices that by eating the neighbor's cats. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever owned a husky, man. They're pretty wild dogs. Not wild, they're very vocal and whiny and um he's so unintimidating. He's a puss. Cannon, be honest. Has your corgi ever run from a cat? I'm just curious, man. That would be. That seemed like a corgi thing. Like I bet you, Mrs. Bushcraft, her fat cat. Um, I bet you'd scare that corgi. It'd run him right off. I'd be willing to put money on that one. Like, and he's a punk too. He's always hissing at me, and yeah. No, he took off from a mouse. I would probably freak it out. Like, oh no, what do I do? Went and ran behind you. Um, yeah, when your dog's been somebody's at the door when he's running at the house to get away from the door. Actually, I have a short video of my dog on here playing in the snow a few weeks ago. Oh, that's cool. A lot of people enjoy those, like the pet videos and stuff. Mrs. Bushcraft, I mean, she's got her own pets. But yeah, she enjoys those videos. Like she likes watching like, people's dogs and cats and stuff. Just doing funny stuff. Which it is funny, man. But I'm allergic to cats, so I've never been a fan of cats. And then she has a cat, so yeah, I've been at war with that cat now for like 8 years, and it's just yeah, I'm not giving up an inch. It's not happening. But yeah, that cat will harass me, and like they're best friends. Like it's her cat, 110%. There's no like, oh no, you took my pet over. That's never happening. But yeah, when she's not around, that cat will come crying at my door. I'm like, dude, she's not even here. Like for a male cat, it sure does. It cries an awful lot, kind of like an unstable Gen Zer, like always crying about everything. Um, yeah, he hasn't snow in 3 years. Oh, is it like older dog? Yeah, we used to have some dogs. They were like yeah, we had some like Shelties when I was growing up, Shetland sheepdogs. And yeah, they loved going out and playing in the snow. It was always a good time. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, I was talking to Newhouse Lock and Key earlier about him tossing his kids in the snow, watching them disappear. Well, that used to be Gen Z here, yeah. He's about nice, but acts like a puppy still. Yeah, Cannon, I don't know what to do about that, man. Like, I want to give him a little bit of credit, but as soon as I like give an inch with the Gen Z crowd, it just seems like they never cease to amaze me. Like, Like it's a whole new world out there. Like I understand, like as generations shift, the older generations don't see the younger generations, and but damn, like Gen Z is taking it to a whole new level. Like you kind of want to support them, but then you're like, no, you need to learn this the hard way. Um, it's very weird. Yeah, yeah. Huskies act like puppies their whole life. You're not wrong on that one, Chaos. They're yeah, yeah. Huskies do act like puppies. They're and the sad part is the better you care for a husky, the bigger of a baby it is. Like I think it realizes like, oh, I'm being coddled and nurtured, so they just it exacerbates the situation. Like they just start acting like bigger babies. Like they figure out like, oh, if I throw a little verbal temper tantrum about this, eventually people will get sick of listening to me and I'll get my way. And that's the truth on that one. Um, but yeah. How we doing? Yeah, Mrs. Bushcraft, she's getting up pretty soon actually. She's got to get up at like 1 o'clock. So hey guys, I'm gonna thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna whip up some coffee. Yeah, Mrs. Bushcraft getting up. She's got to go into work early, so she's getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning to head into work at 2. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Throw on a pot of coffee and make sure she's got a nice cup of coffee when she guys gets up stupid early to go to work. But hey, guys, thanks for hanging out. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully, you laughed a little. If you didn't laugh a little, hopefully, you learned a little. And if I succeeded, you got both. You laughed a little and you learned a little. But hey, man, this late, as long as you laughed, we'll call it good. But yeah, hey, I'll be live again in a few more hours. We're still doing our live at 7, which Sunday mornings tend to start a little bit early. For those of you who haven't been to a Sunday morning Bushcraft Brew Crew thing, it's a good time, man. It's just a random social. We talk about this, that, and the other thing. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be making coffee indoors. That's right, making coffee indoors. It's a thing. Only a few of us are doing it. No, I guess TCal's been doing it for a while. I didn't know that shit. But I'm going to make coffee indoors. Grumpy Grunt sent me an AeroPress, so we're going to give that a try. Making coffee indoors with the AeroPress, first time ever. We'll see how it comes out. Who knows? Might be a little chunky. Sometimes it happens. But yeah, definitely, Cannon, appreciate you, brother. Semper Fi from an Army guy. Chaos Theory, always a pleasure to see you. The Ink Man, thanks for hanging out. And that's all I'm seeing in the chat right now. But hey, yeah, later, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. If not, I'll see you soon. Else one way or another. Hey, take care, guys. I'm out of here.